spokojný s výsledkom. Myslím, že hanbu som si nespravil.
What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So guys, channel membership is now live. Link is in the description and the first comment. Do check it out. That would really help support the channel. So let's start this video with 3 days out physique update of Sasan Hirati. So Sasan has been holding on to this elite conditioning, and that too extremely well, since Detroit Pro this year, which by the way was his first show of the season. And then he did FIBA Germany 1 week after that, and we saw he was about to make a very big upset by beating a guy like Andrew Jacked at FIBA Germany, because for those of you guys who do not know, he was actually in the lead after the prejudging. So that was sort of like another controversial decision by the judges during this season. And I'm gonna be really honest here. Sasan finds himself in a very tricky situation, because no matter what kind of a package he's about to bring to this year's New York Pro, there is simply no way he can win this show because of the mutant Nick Fokker. He just simply isn't big enough. Although this is a guy who can absolutely match Nick in terms of the conditioning and the detail and the kind of separation that this guy has. But the fact is that is just one criteria in the judging aspect. Now I think if Sasan is able to place top 3, or I'm gonna say even top 4 here, that will be so huge for him. Because even in order to do that, he's gonna have to beat 2 guys at the very least, who are some of the biggest names in the game. And that is William Bonac and Michael Krizo, guys whom he have never beaten before. But we know anything is possible in bodybuilding. I just mentioned how he was in the lead in FIBA Germany, beating Andrew Jacked, and nobody could have predicted that in their wildest dreams. So this also proves that the elite level of conditioning, that next level of separation, that always trumps everything, that can 100% make up for the lack of size in certain circumstances. So 2 raw placings for Sasan during this season so far already. So after the New York Pro, Sasan is gonna be entering Cali Pro and then Spain Pro next month. So it's all about holding on to that kind of condition and coming in a bit fuller. And I believe he's eventually gonna qualify for the Olympia, and he's gonna get his first pro win this year. Next up, we have a 3 days out physique update from Michael Krizo, also going for this year's New York Pro. So did we give enough credit to Krizo on making such an impressive comeback on his first show at this past Pittsburgh Pro after having that shoulder injury? Well, I must say he lived up to the expectations that he set for himself. His goal was to place top 6 on his first show after the injury, as well as his first time prepping with George Farrell. So he placed 5th in the Pittsburgh Pro, and the only guys who beat him, they are all top Olympians. Now the fans of Krizo, they must have watched his latest YouTube video in regards to what happened on the day of the show at this year's Pittsburgh Pro. So if you look at the footage, especially his back shots, you will notice how Krizo's back, that was looking so detailed, so separated. He was absolutely shredded top to bottom. And he himself said that his nerves got the better of him because he was coming back to the stage after a very long gap, almost after 1 year.
To je moja achilová päta, prídem na stage, jeb. Normálne, ja keď si pozerám tie videá, ja sa na to nemôžem dívať. Ja stlačím ten chrbát, ja som taký vystresovaný v tom, vieš? Vieš čo, môže to byť kľudne dané len tým, že som dlho nepretekal a že tá hlava nie je nastavená. Prídem do New Yorku a môže to byť.
And he was pinching his shoulders a lot during that back double biceps, and he was struggling to fully open up, especially in that back lat spread, especially the side where he got that surgery done. So I think he's gonna take this valuable feedback from this year's Pittsburgh Pro and work on getting a lot better at all of these upcoming shows. Now the fact is, we already established that Krizo won't win Pittsburgh Pro or the New York Pro either, but he can continue to get better and better the more he competes. And there will be more opportunities for him to earn his Olympia spot for this year. And I'm gonna say that's gonna happen sometime in June. So one of the most interesting comparison at the New York Pro, that is gonna be between Krizo and Regan Grimes. Both very tall, very wide guys. But Regan has the edge of aesthetics over Krizo, but Krizo has more muscle and more freak factor. Next up, we have a 10 days out physique update from Leanrdo Paris. Yes, he's also prepping for the upcoming California Pro, which is gonna be his 3rd show of the season. So how impressed were you with that improved look from Leanrdo Paris at this year's Pittsburgh Pro from the one we saw at the Arnold Brazil against Good Vito? And I must say he got a lot sharper compared to his Arnold Brazil look. So if Leandro can get harder, especially in the upper half, he's gonna be a tough competitor up there because he doesn't have any weak shots. He has filled out his frame pretty damn well in the past 1.5 years. He carries a lot of muscle mass, a lot of size, but at the same time, he has some good aesthetics as well. He's put up together very well. And I must say the back double biceps from Brazil versus Pittsburgh Pro, that kind of shows us how Leandro was able to dig out a lot of detail, especially in the hamstrings and the glutes. And he posed a lot better in the Pittsburgh Pro. So Leandro's overall shape and the flow, that is a lot better than the guys who are beating him right now. And the guy has more potential. He can 100% get his first pro win and qualify for the Olympia this year. And let's just hope that he's able to get a lot harder and a lot drier for this upcoming California Pro. Now on a separate note, there is one hell of a difference in the overall density and the maturity in the muscles of a guy who is a top 3 Olympia competitor versus the one who is trying to win his first pro show. So there was a moment when Leandro stood next to the mutant Nick Walker at this year's Pittsburgh Pro, and there won't be a better example of a top-tier bodybuilder like Nick Walker versus a guy trying to move up the ranks, which is Leandro. And you can just see that there is a lot of untapped potential in Leandro, and hopefully he unlocks that very soon. So one of the craziest amateur physiques, Ahmed Osman, he's gonna be stepping on the stage this weekend at Morocco Pro Qualifier, and that is gonna be in an attempt to get his IFBB Pro card. So who agrees that Ahmed has probably one of the craziest proportions in that front double biceps? The way he's able to open up, the way those thick wide lats, they attach to his small waistline, that is simply outstanding. So this guy went absolutely viral after winning the One Classic roughly 12 weeks back. So the front double biceps, that was lights out, even back then. Plus he has amazing legs, which help him create that perfect X-frame. Very nice V-taper. So these physique updates right here, they were taken when he was 6 days out, and the man was looking pretty damn massive. Now I'm not sure about his conditioning, but maybe he's that type of athlete who changes a lot during the peak week. Now I sincerely hope he wins his pro card, and we get to see him on the pro stage very soon. So he's a short guy, so chances are he's gonna be a great addition to that 212 division in the IFBB Pro League. So his inspiration, that is the great Nasser Al-Sombate. May he rest in peace. And when you look at both those physiques and the similarities between him and Nasser, certainly one crazy genetic freak to keep an eye out for in 2025. So that time is finally here for the reigning Olympia champion Samson Dawa. The off-season has officially begun after 10 weeks of relaxing and detoxing and giving his body that much needed rest and the break from all the gear and the PEDs. Now Samson did play this very smart. He kept on eating very big, even during this downtime, and that just allowed him to maintain a 300+ pound physique. And as the reigning Olympia champion, he also maximized his financial game by doing multiple guest posings during this time span. So great move from a business perspective, as we all know that there are only a certain number of years where a bodybuilder can stay on the top of his game and also make a lot of money. And Samson surely is doing a superb job. So get ready for those freaky full-blown off-season physique updates, as he will now be applying the maximum amount of pressure all the way till the Olympia this year. So this is the year when Samson Dawa has to really establish himself as a dominant champion. So Derek was off at the Olympia last year, and we saw Derek beating him at this year's Arnold, Ohio, and that too very convincingly. And that is why so many people out there, they're having second thoughts about Samson Dawa and whether he will be able to successfully defend his title or not. Well, he surely is very hungry. And even after losing the Arnold, all the experts out there, they agree that a 100% on Samson Dawa, that is gonna be very hard to beat for all these other guys, simply because he's just way too big, way too massive, and he has superb aesthetics as well. So the funny thing is that Samson was never 100%, even when he won the Olympia last year. And that is a scary thought. So really looking forward to his off-season and the progress that he's gonna make this year. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.